Hi, and welcome to the Mothership on Network She. My name is Michelle Smith from Angelic Healing. I specialize in turning negative thought patterns into positive behaviors by teaching you how to think and heal yourself happy. And today for the Mothership, I've got the lovely Laurah with me. Hi, Laurah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you, darling. I'm very happy to see your beautiful smiling face on the
Ah,
screen
You've
today.
got the best smile. I love your interviews and I love your smile. So yeah, I'm excited about us.
Great. Well, do you want to introduce yourself, darling? Let everybody know who you are and what makes Laurah happy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I'm Laura Beachy. I run Sterling Staffing Solutions. We just started January time, officially January time, but it started last year. What makes me happy? Oh, staying busy. Just keep me busy and I'm happy. And donuts. Donuts makes me happy.
Donuts, fantastic. I love it. So is it the ice donuts or the jam donuts for you?
I'm in between. I like the plain. I like the
Oh,
I like dunking them, which is so weird. I'd rather have the sauce and dunk. So
oh,
yeah,
fabulous.
sort of an awkward egg, right?
And you have a little one, I believe.
I do. I've got a 1 year old. He's one
Oh,
year and 1 month now.
wow. So keeping
Yeah,
you busy.
keeping me busy. I found him on the stairs just the other day, so need to start looking things up.
Oh, especially the donuts.
Oh God, yes, yes. It's a pain, you know.
Oh, excellent. Well, it's lovely to have you here today. Looking
Thank you.
forward to learning all about you and your business. Do you want to give us a little bit about your background? Tell us who you are, where you come from.
Right. Okay. I am in officially, well, originally from Zimbabwe. I was born in Zimbabwe.
Wow.
Yes. And we didn't really have a permanent place. I stayed with my grandma whilst my mom was training as a nurse.
Wow.
And yeah, so she was in the town, and we were in the rural ends of Zimbabwe. So I was right in the midst of the mist, as they call it. Yeah, and then we came here in 2006, 2007. That's when I then officially joined my mom. So I hadn't actually seen my mom for years.
Oh,
And I finally saw her at the airport, and it was freezing. And everyone has told me, "Oh, do you know the UK is cold?" And I was like, "No, it's not that cold." So I had my little jacket on. And then as soon as I came out, I was like, "Take me back, take me back."
aw.
But I was excited to see her. Yeah, and I am well, originally as well here in the UK. I am from Corby in Northamptonshire, and I have studied in Leicester at De Montfort. I did my degree there in nursing and in business and management. And then that's where I met my partner, David. And then we moved here to Wales just in January. So
Oh,
I've always been a
fantastic.
mover.
Wow. So you're going to put some roots down in Wales.
Yes, I literally visited this place and it was absolutely gorgeous. And I was like, it gives me back the feeling of when I was back home, just the greenery, obviously the added of the seas there, which is fantastic. So I'd never seen the sea before. And it was just so much of a shock to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is absolutely fantastic. And he was asking me, are you sure you want to move to Wales? And I was like, I think so. I think we need to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we never looked back. So I'm excited to be here.
fantastic. And whereabouts in Wales are you?
We are currently in Clanfatalahan. I'm currently renting here whilst we are renovating our place. We bought a place in Clandulas. Absolutely beautiful place, a lot of history on it, but it needed renovation. So we're just waiting until we can officially move in.
How exciting. Oh, that's amazing. I love doing refurbishments.
Oh,
Brilliant. So what inspired you to do what you're doing now?
to be honest, I started in uni. I went to uni to study nursing, like I said. I did adult and mental health, which was absolutely fantastic. I had fun. And the experience in the hospitals gave me like a thorough insight of how a hospital works and just the care part of things. Mainly what pushed me was because my dad had cancer, and I sort of like I felt useless because I was like, what can I do? And when you know you can't really do anything, it's the most difficult part. And so it pushed me into going into nursing in the first place. So I did that. And then whilst I was doing it, I made so many connections with the lecturers and people around, and I remember one of them invited me to some seminars, and it was just business, and I was like, wow, okay, I do love nursing, but I like the management part of things. And I'm like, well, why don't you do this competition thing? There was this competition where you have to come up with an innovative idea. And I did, and I won, and I just couldn't believe my head, and I was just like, "What? Okay."
Fantastic.
It was really nice. And then I thought, okay, I've given so much of myself into the NHS, and then I was like, I think I rather prefer vetting the people. That's what I started thinking then, to say, I'd rather be the person that puts good people in the right places. So that's how it started. I was nervous and I was like, am I going to be able to do this? But I don't know how to start. So it took me time. It took me time. It was when I had Sterling. And between then, funny enough, we were renovating our house in Leicester. And we knew we were going to sell it off, but I wanted it to be specifically good. So in between then, we were looking at recruitment, what it is about, what everything is about. And yeah, and funny enough, although I did work in recruitment before, when you're starting your own company, you feel like, my goodness, I don't know anything. You start getting, panic attacks, going, am I sure I want to do this? Is it going to work? But yeah, as soon as Sterling came by, I was like, that's it, it's official. I'm gonna name it Sterling. It's gonna have to be after Sterling. So, yeah, and we're here now.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's amazing. So it's an exciting thing setting up your business, but you're quite right, it's really scary as well. And sometimes you don't realize until you do it yourself just how alone you can feel on that roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody would agree when you're working in amongst a corporate setup or the NHS like you were, there are departments everywhere for you to pick up the phone, for somebody to deal with the finance, the HR, the IT, whatever the issue.
Layer upon layer upon layer, especially in the NHS, it's like communication is a bit distorted. So, it will take a few weeks until someone actually.
Well, at least when now that you're wearing all those hats yourself in your own business and it's all down to you, then
Yes,
you can manage your own timescales now, can't you?
I do. I'm too OCD, so I look at every minute. I look at it. I'm like, okay, double check, and I'm like, okay, okay.
I didn't want to say OCD, but when I was listening to you talk about your background and leading in, when you're talking about the refurbishments and how you wanted
Oh,
it just so and everything so
yeah.
perfect, I thought to myself, all right, we've got somebody who pays real close attention to detail with
Terrible.
vision, passion, and drive. Yeah.
It's terrible. It drives the workers mad. But and they're like, "Whoa, that was a good idea." I'm like, I know. Unfortunately, I know.
Bring it on. Yeah, fantastic. So that's a really good insight into how it came about. So do you want to spend some time now talking to us about your actual business and what you do for a living, how Sterling Staffing Solutions actually works?
Yeah, of course. So we are a permanent recruitment agency. Although we do temp, I try not to touch on temp, so I only do short contracts. So I place healthcare workers, from doctors, nurses, healthcare assistants, to cleaners within the NHS and the private sectors. Um, so, and then the other department is executives. So we then also do the management part of things, the admin part of things, and anything executive really, which then comes out of the NHS. So we then go into other sectors, but we only touch on the executive part of things. I don't know what else to say, because recruitment is such a, yeah, so I place people in jobs. I don't know.
Well, this is your platform to shine, Laura. So you need 20 minutes, please. It's difficult placing you on the spot, but it sounds amazing. I think that's fabulous the way you're working to place the right people in the right jobs for the NHS, especially with what's been going on this year. It must have been a crazy year for you. Do you want to talk to us about that? Has it really sort of catapulted the business forward much quicker than anticipated when you started?
At first, everyone was so passionate to go into the NHS, and it was like the community really came together. because we started in such a difficult time, which was with COVID-19, we almost ourselves as well panicked, going, is it going to be okay? Is everyone going to be happy to go into a setting where COVID is going to be there? Because with some jobs, it's okay to say, we can put A, B, and C in place, but within the NHS and the healthcare sectors, you're going into a setting where it's going to be there. So I was a bit nervous on that end of things, but the community was so great. People were calling in, well, I don't have experience in this one, but I would really love to go and help them. I'm like, are you sure? Are you
Are you really sure?
are you really sure? So, it was absolutely fantastic. I had so many good conversation with the wards that we worked in, both myself and David. It was just uplifting. I would say now the only problem I can say we are facing is more of finding the right people that are qualified, because a lot of people have got heart, but they won't have the right qualifications for it. So we've been pushing through and working with departments to see how we can help people, really, because I also feel like with the COVID pandemic, people are starting to think about different ways they can, they're starting to look at their jobs, and they're going, am I in the right job? What's the company done for me within this COVID-19? So, as bad as it might be for other businesses, it's been absolutely fantastic and thriving for the healthcare sectors. And funny enough, for the executive roles, because now companies are looking for people that are good with innovation, people that think forward, outside of the box, people that are willing to go the extra mile, even if the pay is not put up. They want people with that drive of, okay, I'm here to change. I'm here to, yeah. So it's been an interesting roller coaster, I would say.
Yeah, definitely a roller coaster for everybody, but I should imagine for yourself, because nobody knew what to expect or how long it was going to go on for.
Absolutely.
Coming from the NHS background yourself has been great so that you know what you're recruiting. But with the changes going on, you've had to keep up to date with the changes that as they're evolving.
You have to ask COVID questions nowadays. You have to ask, are you going to be okay working in an environment where there might be COVID present? Some people will say, do you know what, I'm not as comfortable. And I'm just like, well, I'm not really sure how I can help you, because with healthcare, next room could be somebody with thingy, and you'll find that yes, people were scared, but now, well, yes, people were scared, but now people are more open to. Do you know what? There's someone who is elderly somewhere who will not have their family and friends for Christmas, who haven't seen anyone for a very long time, and so when you start thinking of it in that way, healthcare and helping people nowadays, it's not just, oh, I'm just a care assistant, which I think is a vital job, and I feel like it's been brushed to the side for a while now. But after speaking to a lot of managers and a lot of owners, it's been nice to influence to say, do you understand that healthcare assistants are literally the pillars of everything, because they are right there on the floor. Yes, we've got our nurses, yes, we've got our doctors, but the healthcare assistant is literally the pillar. And yeah, it's been interesting. It's been almost like touching for me because yeah, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, should I go back? I'll just
Yeah.
just one shift. But I'm like, no, I can't. I have to, you know.
I was wondering about that because there's obviously that driving and passion for you to care about people enough for you to drive to start your own business to make sure the right people are going in
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
the NHS. That's incredible. But I bet while all this has been going on, it has been kind of drawing you back as to, it's almost like being called up for war, isn't it?
Literally,
Get your
oh my God,
sleeves rolled back up and
yeah.
get back in there. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, that's been an interesting one. Because currently my mom, she works, she was I've just placed, well, I recently placed at Blackpool, but now she's in Liverpool. And I say to her, I said, you know what? I think you going into work and me putting you there, I feel like part of me is there. So it sort of like puts away my go in, because yeah, I felt like I just need to pick up just one shift, just one, just to go in. You're like, oh, I've got this idea, so if I go in and then we say A, B, and C, whilst I'm at work and caring for people, just to hold someone's hand and be like, it's okay, it will be fine. But unfortunately, I think I have to look at the bigger picture of I am playing a very important part of selecting the right people with the right mindset. And it's been absolutely fantastic speaking to people, nurses that have been inside the NHS and they've gone off on leave and now they're coming back in because of this whole COVID-19. And because COVID-19, people say, oh, you have to be caring. I'm like, yes, you have to be caring, but also just how the COVID-19 has made people lonely. Most carers and most our healthcare staff have been prompted because uh, they've been prompted to go in just because they also feel lonely at home. You've got single people out there that are working in the industry, which is bizarre because I didn't think I would ever say this, but they're like, you know what, Laura, I feel really lonely, I'd rather go into work, and I'm like, is it that bad? Like, yeah. I'm like, good, okay, I like that.
Oh, so they've got a sense of purpose, haven't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And it's been absolutely fantastic. There's no one week that goes past without a dry eye. And my partner is always saying, it's either you are running a recruitment business or you're going to be running a therapy business. I'm like, no, it's both. It's both.
Yeah, it is. There's a combination, isn't it? I'm listening with you talking there about the care sector. I'm currently coaching for a local charity in UKIS for carers that are looking after their loved ones with complex ailments at home, and that's all by Zoom, and it is touching, but it's fabulous that we've got that opportunity to still be able to reach people just because we can't do face to face.
I love that. Yeah.
It's massive therapy just being able to see a transformation in somebody from them first coming on the call and then leaving with a smile and a bit of hope and a bit of inspiration, a bit of motivation, a bit of sparkle. And that makes me emotional because it's like,
Oh,
you've touched somebody. So I understand
yeah.
that. And I really miss going into the residential nursing homes. I was offering healing to dementia and complex ailments as well there. And last week, one of the carers that I was working with at the time last year, the beginning of the year, she did a WhatsApp for me, and she had two of the residents that I used to see regularly, and we had a catch up they were in the conservatory in the home, and oh my God, it was so emotional. But I've been sending in meditations and relaxations, some recordings to keep them going, and they were so grateful. You don't realize a little thing like that went
Yeah,
such a
it's
long
connected.
way, and
Yeah,
it was beautiful, it really was. So I think the world is fortunate to have you in the position you're in. You're absolutely right, you're in prime
thank
position.
you. Thank
You
you.
the
So
bigger
was it
picture
for you.
is
You're fantastic.
that's just give me goose pimples knowing that you know people are in the right hands, people who want to help coming through to you, being placed in the right places,
The
and
OCD lady. Because
yeah, and the people who need help are coming to you to make sure they get the right people in the right places. So
yeah,
absolutely well done.
yeah.
Amazing.
Thank
That's,
you so much.
oh, you must have so many stories of the people that and the connections that you must have made, and yeah, it can be really emotional.
It has been, and at first I mean, I'll start with the happy one. I've been looking for senior carers, and I've a fantastic girl, absolutely fantastic. And then she's starting work. Actually, if she hasn't started actually already, and I had interviewed her. She was absolutely excited. Oh, I just can't wait. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And then I spent a day because usually she would call me and then she would say, what's the process like at the moment? I think she just likes, a bit of order. And I was like, well, that's my type of girl because I'm the same.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so she went a day without calling me. And I just thought, why has she not called me today? So after work, I called her and I was like, hey, how's it going? You haven't checked my emails. You haven't checked everything. Is it okay? Is everything okay? You haven't gone with another person, have you? So she goes, actually, I've got fantastic news. I'm pregnant. And I was just like,
Oh wow.
yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm like a sucker for. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, that's fantastic news, that's amazing. And I was now thinking on my part of side, I was like, are you going to be safe then going into the environment? And I had to talk her through to it. You're putting yourself again. in a place where COVID is going to be thriving and things like that. Yes, there will be precautions and measurements in every home and in every setting. There is always, but yeah, she was pretty happy. Just like I know I'm going to be a mom. I'm absolutely over the moon, and I'm sorry I haven't opened my messages. I was like, no, that's okay. Then I was like, what about the work part of things? I'm going in, and I was like, perfect, exciting, yeah. So
Amazing.
I'm
So
going to
she's
be
really driven.
She's absolutely driven, and it makes me so happy because every single time I pick up a call and someone is looking for work, I try to know them first. And they always get surprised, like, why are you trying to? I'm like, I'm trying to understand you first.
Yeah, yeah.
And the more I get to know you and what drives you, then I can fit you in the right role, because I'm one of those people that want to, because you're right. People like, for instance, with dementia, I've worked as a care assistant myself. And, just as you do when you are younger, you work as a care assistant and you're looking for work. And I've done that. And there's dementia people, they need that stability. And I feel it's something that maybe that needs to be addressed, to say rotating people constantly can be confusing and can be stressful. So I try to place people that stay in a job for a longer period, just for the sake of those around them. And it brings a smile to them as well, instead of seeing, Peter next, Sam next, and like, who are you? What's going on with me? So yeah.
Oh, that's a really interesting point. I bet the workers are exhausted now, because this is something that they've been working tirelessly for the whole year, practically. We're nearly in December.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, how are they managing that? They manage to rotate the teams, or?
Well, yes, there's always a night team and a day team. And I think when you go into the NHS or into the healthcare sector overall, you almost have to see yourself as I would used to say to myself and to David, to say, you get married to the job. The job is your first priority, because you're not only looking at your career pathway, but you're also looking at people's lives in general. Although it sounds a bit selfish, that's the realistic part of things that I try to emphasize to people, and to say, 12-hour shifts, to me, to someone else, it would be like, oh my goodness. But to me, it's something that I can easily do. I can do 12 hours, I can go over, because that's what I've committed myself to. And that's what I expect from everyone I place. I sort of like,
me.
I'm sorry.
Yes, miss.
Sorry. Friendly.
I'm only playing with you.
But I try to drive that through, to say, yes, there are harsh hours, there are harsh compromises, but that's part of the job. That's just part of the realistic part of working with people and working in the healthcare system. You can go 3 days on, which is perfect. Some homes, they'll say 3 days on, 3 days off, because we all understand, we all get exhausted. But if you love your job, you love your job, and you go the extra mile.
Yeah, you do. I was wondering then, because you used the word OCD, I said attention to detail. But how does this transfer? If you were married to your job and you found that simple to do and expected it as the commitment to that particular industry, and expecting it of your candidates too, how is this now transferring to your own business? Are you working in the zone till it's gone dark around you? Do we need to drag you away from the desk?
Do you know what? Funny enough, I've got 2 boards downstairs because I'm working from home. So I've got this one that gives me a more just what I'm doing within our space. Then I've got a more detailed board, which is bigger, which then gives me a more detailed, like, it's bigger lines that I have to write and tick off. And then upstairs, I'm gonna sound mad. Upstairs, I've got another board just to remind me of the must do. Do not forget must do.
Oh, fantastic. I quite like that. I tend to have vision boards everywhere to remind me where I'm going, what I need to achieve, what it's going to be like when I get there. That keeps little positive quotes and the angel wings and fairies and God knows what around the place to keep the vibration high.
Nice. I need that, actually, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny actually because a lot of people have struggled working from home, but set up last minute in the smallest room in the house or a corner of a room and just gone bang, bang, bang into work mode. And it's important to still have things around you that even at a glance, if you don't take a break from the desk, if you for that moment you're having a glance at something nice that makes you smile, it's
Yeah.
giving that the right sort of the chemical release, the hormone release to make you feel good, so that
You
it's
are
for a split
absolutely
second,
right.
it's a distraction.
You are
Yeah,
absolutely right. Yes, yeah. I also have a jar where, because sometimes it's not every day that you're gonna be absolutely happy, and both from either clients or from candidates, you're not gonna be completely happy every day. So just as a motivation, what I normally do as well is to write the good things, and I put them in the jar.
fantastic.
At the moment, I just have flowers in it. It used to be a coffee jar. So I'm waiting for next week. So we'll
Oh,
see.
fantastic, brilliant. But it's also great because we're not having to say the top half is looking tidy, but the bottom half could be the pajama bottoms, the jogging bottoms, or anything really at the moment. I would say to people, but you can put your sparkly shoes on. So when you're looking down, when you're at the desk, it's like,
Oh,
ooh, or paint your nails and put your lippy on, even if you are in slacks,
yeah.
you've got nice nails. And for that split second, it'll go, oh yeah, yeah,
Looks
and just
nice.
pick you
Yeah.
up.
Like, I'm actually gonna steal that idea. Just a
Yeah, absolutely. Oh.
second.
So then, that's an amazing story, really inspirational journey that you've that's been your background. You've started from an early age and now you're placing people in the right places and looking for the right people for the right places as well.
Absolutely.
Look,
Yeah.
so there's always somebody for somewhere and there's always somewhere for someone, is that right?
Exactly. Exactly. That's the right way to put it on. And I feel there's been such a high jump, especially with the younger generation at the moment. There's been a high jump of I really need to be at work because they're at home now. So parents are going, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, yeah, you gaming. What's going on? So I'm trying to expand more on that stage and just to put help the younger generation and people of my age, because not everyone is privileged enough to have that opportunity or to have that time. I understand everyone, just because someone is smiling, there might be, you don't know the background story. So yeah, I've been trying to work with local councils. I'm yet to contact the ones here in North Wales to see how we can help our generations really, because those are the people that are gonna boost our economy in overall. And funny enough, actually, the last conversation I had was with Jim Jones, and we're just talking about how it's tourism sector here, and I was so hyped because I was like, "Oh, what is it like?" Because I haven't really worked with the tourism sector myself. So I wanted to inject myself so much into it. And I was just like, you know what, I'll give it some time. I'm going to understand everyone and every business because otherwise it will drive me crazy. I need to understand the people.
That's your attention to detail head coming back out again, isn't it? But do you
Yes.
know, Laura, that's amazing and fabulous that you are that way, but you're in the right place for that. People listening to this interview today on the Mothership and Indeed Network, She Diamond members, the rest of the members, you're going to make so many connections.
Oh, please
So
connect
it's a
with
fabulous place to
me.
be. There are
Yeah.
so many members that are more than happy to help you to go forward and indeed looking for somebody like you to make that connection
Oh,
for
yeah.
anybody that they know of. Wow.
I'm really excited. I mean, when I joined the group, I was absolutely nervous. I just sort of like sat in the background. I was one of the Googlers, just sitting there going, "What's been posted?" And what's been
Process. There she goes again. What's the process? The process is just show up. Just show up and
shared.
join in. Yeah.
Yes, it was absolutely fun. I just got so hyped, and at first I was like, wait a second, it's a group of women, and I was just like, this is absolutely fantastic because I've worked in recruitment sectors, and normally it's so male driven sometimes, and to be in a group of women that are just absolutely powerhouses, people that know exactly what and what they want, and it was it was like, oh my God, boom. It was like, I was like, this is
It is,
amazing.
isn't it? Mind blowing. Yeah,
Yeah,
incredible.
I absolutely loved it. And so I slowly started commenting, going, oh, that's fantastic. And I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing. She's doing what? And then I'll go and Google. I feel like I'm like prying on people's stuff now. But I'll go on Google and their businesses and I'll genuinely read and just look through. I remember a lady posted her hotel, and I actually went on and I was like, oh, let me have the customer experience she's looking for. So I went in and I looked at the layout and I was like, oh, fantastic. And I was writing notes before I commented. And I was like,
Oh, bless you. That is attention to detail. Well, if you go on the Network She website,
oh yeah.
all the Diamond members have a profile, and you should have one too. So if you've not completed your profile, you need to get on there. And that's part of the membership.
Yeah.
So you can check everybody out on there and make contact
Yeah.
through the mothership. And there's the Diamond members separate group as well, so you can post in there. But you've gone live as well since you joined.
I did. I got nervous, so I was like, oh, take it off, take it off.
That's amazing.
I wanted to say hello to everyone, and everything was a bit quiet. So I thought, oh, let me say hi to everyone. And Sterling was playing in the background, and I had Coco Melon for him on there. And I was just like, you know what, let me say hello to everyone. And I did. And then once I started talking, I was like, oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
No, it's lovely. It's really nice. Don't stop doing that. It's lovely for you to pop in and say hello, encourage it for everybody. Amazing. So, have you any golden tips or any advice that you might want to give somebody starting out in business in this climate that would help?
I would say don't be scared. Don't be afraid. We are at a time where things are absolutely difficult, and you're right. It's difficult for everyone and anybody. Recruitment, yes, it's okay, but it also has its challenges. And I would say there's a lot of miscommunication or misinformation, and I feel there's so much pressure to say, oh, don't do this because of COVID-19. Oh, don't do this. And I'm just like, do you know what? This is the perfect time if you wanted to open another adventure. If you want to, this is the perfect time because everyone is at home. They're watching. You literally have the world on your like in your palm of your hands. Do not be scared. Be yourself 100%. I've been put down a lot of times. I've had people they say, oh no, 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 possibly not. Just like, okay, that's fine. That's okay with me. So have that confidence in yourself, even if somebody tells you no, it can't be done. You go home, you go in the mirror and you tell yourself, oh yes, I can. Oh yes, I can do it. And just
Love it. Oh, fantastic. You're just sparkling. Your energy is just sparkling away with belief in that. Amazing advice. Thank you so much, Laura. Well, it's been absolutely lovely meeting you and chatting to you,
it
learning
was
about you and your business.
fantastic having you. Yeah.
It goes really quickly, doesn't it? I told you it
It
goes
really
quick.
does. It was like 10 minutes.
But I'm sure our paths will cross again, and I look forward to bumping into you in the meantime in the Diamond membership. And do keep saying hello, popping on, and going live.
I will. Maybe this time it might go a bit longer than a minute. I'll be like, okay, 2 minutes this week.
Oh, thank you very much, and have such a lovely weekend with your family. And
Oh,
I
thank
hope to
you
see
so
you
much.
soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michelle.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.